Welcome back, everybody. This is the part B of the video, how to end a love affair and get over it. But before to start, I would like to invite you today to a short breathing exercise. So wherever you are at the moment, stop for some minutes what you are doing. Sit down in a comfortable position with your feet touching the floor and close your eyes. Start by taking a deep breath, and with the exhalation, release any tension that you experience at the moment. Allow the breath coming out to release any tension in the neck, in the body, in the shoulders. Again, take a second deep breath. Pause at the end of the inhalation and exhale slowly. Let's do 2 more times. Inhale, pause, exhale slowly, pause, inhale again, pause, exhale slowly, pause again. Now, for the next few breaths, you are going to follow the flow of the air. So when you inhale, you feel the lightness of the air entering the nostrils, and again slowly pause at the end of the inhalation and exhale, feeling how the air starts coming out from deep inside your body and leave the nostrils. Make a pause when you inhale completely. Let's do it. Inhale, focusing in the flow of the air. Follow the air. Pause. Exhale. The air is leaving out your body. Inhale again, follow the air entering the nostrils. Continue up through your nose. Fill your lungs. Open your chest. Pause. Exhale slowly. Follow the air, leaving the lungs, leaving the nose, going through the nostrils. Now you are going to do it at your own pace 3 times, but focus only in the flow of the air. Remember, since the air entering the nostrils, go up to the nose. Reach the tract until your lungs. Fill your lungs. Open your chest. And then the air is coming back. It's leaving your chest, leaving your lungs. Coming out, reaching the nose. Going through the nostril out completely. Only follow the flow of the air 3 times at your own pace. Let's start. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to your normal breathing and enjoy there for a few seconds. Give yourself a smile. Smile to your life and slowly open your eyes. I would love to hear your experiences on following the flow of the air in the comments below. So you are free to do that. Okay, so I finished the last video talking about why we are interconnected with all. On this topic, I recently found this quote from the artist Bianca Ottilia Gusan. I think you can really separate the individual state of wellness from the collective unless you detach yourself from the collective. And on that regard, I'm wondering if we are able to survive if we detach from the collective. What are your thoughts on this? So far, I have presented a different perspective around wholeness. If we are about to embrace a different view, different from what we have followed and believed for years, we should take all our efforts to educate ourselves, and especially in this topic. The education should focus into what we were supposed to learn at school, but never put in practice, such as understanding how one's body and mind works, the essentials of nutrition, and the basics of cooking, because after all, these are the real foundations of life. I believe we all need to be educated on how the body works at general level, because the more that we understand about how the body works when everything is going well, the better we will be able to identify dysfunctions when things aren't going well, and the better we will be able to craft strategies to build the health back. In the same way, when we start paying attention to our emotions and feelings and get to the root of them, we are responsible for our wholeness. For me, this is one of the more pragmatic and realistic ways of self-knowledge whenever one is interested in it. In nutrition awareness, I see how education is more important than ever, as there is an ocean of information available with thousands of studies that contradict themselves. So it is important to have quality of information. As there are new diets every day, there is more confusion about how to take care of ourselves. And even not to mention that we still want to ignore that the fundamental purpose of the food companies and the pharmaceutical companies is to increase profit year after year. People's health is not part of their annual strategic plans. That has reached the point that supermarkets are full of new products every year, and paradoxically, people are getting more sick. And that is basically because we hand over our responsibility to feed ourselves to companies and restaurants. In the case of the pharmaceutical companies, the way the experiments are done due to financial reasons is that those experiments only evaluate the impact of their products in the short term, only 1 year or 2 years, but never investigate the impact of the pharmaceuticals in the long term. The other reason why we should educate ourselves is to find a way to nourish ourselves, understanding that nutrition doesn't come from expensive superfoods. that only few people can afford. True nourishment comes from the soil present in the place where we are. This leads us towards realizing that, for example, the imported sauce that I buy in a supermarket that travels kilometers to reach my plate are not really nourishing the body. Taking accountability for health give us back the power for self-healing and to be in the place to have discussions with doctors instead of just taking their word as the ultimate truth. Who has the ultimate truth and knows the body better than the one who inhabits it? If there is some advice I can give today about food choices and nutrition, I will be covering in a very great detail in the videos to come in the future. But if there is one that I can just give now, is every time you go to the supermarkets, go only to the extremes of the supermarkets, or right to the left, or right to the right, because that is the place where the fresh vegetables and the fresh fruit and fresh food in general is, and avoid all the middle islands, because that is packed. Everything that is packed in plastic is not really food. Lastly, as we start understanding our interconnectedness with the world, we realize that the shift in the current economical system is in our hands. Our market economy is driven primarily by consumer demand. As a population, if a large number of people make small moves to avoid the consumption of processed industrialized food, the industry will shrink or start offering real food. So, with education, we are empowered to make some shifts. What if we move from searching in Google for the best remedy for each illness and from assigning a single property to food or herbs, label them as good for or bad for, to understanding how the human body works, to feel the body, and with that knowledge we feed ourselves to support the processes that occur in the body. On this regard, in a recent study, scientists found that it's better to eat a curry prepared with turmeric than ingesting a pill of turmeric like a medicine. Because this is the point where we have arrived. We are now packing the food in pills, which is a very profitable business because we have been told that turmeric is a miracle for inflammation. Fortunately, the research found that because the liver of each person works different, some people can react to high dose of turmeric, and hence it's better to eat it in a curry or in a tea in small doses every day. This is what the people have done in India for centuries. In another point, what if we move from fixing our physical and mental issues to look deeper, question everything, and practice techniques that works not only from our own experience? What if we move from keeping healthy because the fear of sickness, pandemics, getting old, being obese, or even to dying, to start better enjoying activities in the present moment and do things that make us stable today? We move to learn to face fear and gain skills in how to accept the nature of an ill body, the nature of death, the loss of a loved one, so we don't have to fight against them, but recognizing they are part of the life cycle of life, and because of that, living fullest today. What if we move from being worried about the future and better learn how to visualize ourselves in the future? We learn techniques to keep grounded and in the present moment today so that the future becomes a reality. What if we move away from the attachment to the moments of happiness and aversion towards sadness to a place where we learn how to manage changes, transitions, adversities, and uncertainties? What if we stop suffering about the past but learn how to reflect on ourselves so we find the roots of our suffering and accept starting a healing process? And finally, what if we move from taking care only of my health and the health of my family to learn how to relate with others and with the environment where we live? Well, with these views on well-being, how we can end a love affair with health and wholeness and get over it? The answer's here. I think the first step is to embark in a path of self-awareness. And as I mentioned in the first video, I am pretty sure that this first step of self-awareness will help us with a love affair with someone or with something. So it's really practical and we can apply at different areas of our life. Self-awareness is a very enjoyable lifelong path. And with self-awareness, we came to understand that our health and wholeness is impermanent. We just have to practice to accept this fact. Not easy, but again, it's a very enjoyable and solid path. And finally, explore and question. Question everything that we do in life, everything we hear, everything we see, everything we follow. Do not act out of blind faith, not with your body, not with your mind. To finish, I would like to share with you a poem called Bhumish Parsha, wrote by Thich Nhat Hanh. Bhumish Parsha is a Sanskrit word means touching the earth and refers to the gesture made by the Buddha on the night of his enlightenment when he asked the earth to support his awakening. And because touching the earth is about coming back to the body, nothing else, to the ground of our own experience, this is a beautiful example in how we should experience everything in the framework of the body through questioning and practicing, questioning and practicing, questioning and practicing. Here we go with the poem. Death comes with his impressive sight and says, "You should be afraid of me." I look up and ask, "Why should I be afraid of you?" "Because I will make you dead. I will make you non-existent." "How can you make me non-existent?" Death doesn't answer. He swings his impressive sight. I say, "I come and I go. Then I come again and I go again. I always come back. You can neither make me existent or non-existent." "How do you know that you will come again?" Death asks. "I know because I have done that countless times," I say. "How do I know that you are telling the truth?" "Who can be the witness?" Death frowns. I touch the earth and say, "Earth is the witness. She is my mother." Suddenly, Death hears the music. Suddenly, Death hears the birds singing from all directions, like here in this place where I am. Suddenly, Death sees the trees blossoming. Earth makes herself apparent to Death and smiles lovingly to him. Death melts in the loving gaze of Earth. "Oh, my beloved, touch Earth every time you get scared. Touch her deeply and your sorrow will melt away. Touch her deeply and you will touch the dead less. This is the end of this video, how to end a love affair and get over it. Thank you for listening and see you in the next video with a different topic.